Okay, I I really hope this is much appreciated from you guys because I finally grew a brain and figured out I can just use noise cancellation on my freaking you know uh audio input. So now I actually have much better audio for part two, which is very good. Um, I've been hard at work with this for the past couple of days, and I just want to explain what you guys might have missed uh, since the last time I did this. So, I added a error that I threw. This isn't really important yet. Single custom list. I added a class of ship tile that stored its index and its health, its own personal health, and it has an init function that just sets itself. And it has a function called is a valid tile index, which takes in itself and um, returns if the index that you give it is not equal to its own index, and that's it. That's the whole function. It's just easier. You could just call this function instead of writing if this then continue. Um, I have a new class called ship, and it has an origin. It has tiles in a list. It has a ship type. It has health, and when you call its init function, it it uses all sets all of these. I don't know why I just clicked that. And now water stores a lot more. It stores the enemy, which is a boolean. So the right side of the board will have the enemy's ships as long as you're not playing against a real person, because I haven't gotten to actually doing that yet. So uh, water also stores the ships in a list, and then it stores a level, which stores lists of integers. I'll explain later. So start a game now makes fog, and then it generates ships, and then it prints the board, because printing the foggy board now also prints ships that are covered by the fog. So I just felt like putting it there. Uh, and now I have a new function called check all ship tiles, which takes in the list of ships and a tile index, and then it goes through all the ships, and it finds in each of them, it checks each of the ship's tiles, and then it takes the index of each tile of each ship, and then it returns if even one of them is 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 a valid tile index. So if even one of them is whatever, like this function right here, then it returns false, and then otherwise it returns true. So that's what this function does. I have print funky board. You know what this does already. Except that now I extended a little bit on this, and it was hashtag if the tile was in the list of fog, and now it's x else if check all ship tiles, and then it takes the list of ships and then the current tile that you're trying to print on the foggy board, else it's O um, for every tile in the board. So that's an O tile is a normal tile. You'll see. It's not the current tile anymore. That was just ugly, and it made the fog like shift off by like one or two you know spaces, because actual integers were like in the double digits. So having two characters obviously made it like larger, which made it all wonky and crooked. So I didn't like that. So I'm just printing O's instead of numbers now. And then it just prints a new line, and then you get like a square. I have another function called printborn, which prints the board. I mean, it's not a new function. It's a good old print board. You know how it is. Um, make board, which is just it just basically returns a list of uh of integers that are basically just for every row there's another column, and then for every item in a column, there's a new integer. Then you have the checks that check if you're on the edges, and then we have the new function I added that generates carriers, because I only have one type of ship so far, and it's just carriers. I could add more later on, but I only need one type of ship, and that's carriers. So the carrier stores the carrier tiles generator gets an integer. You love Python. Good to hear. You you're a lot more enthusiastic than I am. Currently, I've been like racking my brain open trying to figure out why some of these ships are generating on top of each other. But I'll finish my explanation first. So generate tiles takes all of these inputs, and then for the rotation, since you can only have like 1 out of 4 different directions in a 2D game where you can't have diagonals. It's not like the cooler battleship where you can actually have diagonals. In my case, I can only have like vertical or horizontal ships facing one of 2 directions. So basically, the guaranteed rotation takes whatever leftover of dividing rotation by 4 gives you. So let's say you put in 5, you would really just be putting in 1. That makes more sense to me. Because if you rotated something 90 degrees 5 times, you'd really just be rotating it 90 degrees. Starting at a vertical line of orientation, I guess. Like think of a protractor. Normally you'd start at like 0, and then like when you're horizontal and like parallel with the whatever you're trying to measure. But in my case, if your rotation is 1, you're just facing the left side of the board. I don't know why. I guess I just want it this way. So if the rotation is 1, you check if any tile is in the left facing carrier wraps around the board, which means that basically the last like tile in the carrier, because the carrier is like 4 tiles long, might wrap around the board because the last tile will be 4 in index positions, 3 index positions on top of the current, like the origin's index position, because the origin is always the front of the ship, and if it's facing the left, the front of the ship is the leftmost tile, and if the leftmost tile is on the right edge, then it will wrap around the board, and that's a problem. So I have this little function here that just basically just checks if it wraps around the board. It's not a function; it's just an if statement. Then it sets a list of new tiles, which just basically, you know, it creates a new tile with the carrier origin plus the index of this of this for loop here, and then it adds the health that's inputted into this function to that tile object, and for 4 times. So it creates like 4 tiles, which is the exact amount that we need for our carriers. And for every ship in the existing ships that have already been created, you check if the current tile is in the existing tile index, which is also a input. I think. Wait, where is it? Ooh. I don't think I inputted this. Is this existing tile? Did I input this? I did not. I'm silly. What a silly guy. I should fix this later. That's why it's not working. Jeez. Dang. So yeah, it returns failed if it's in that index. And it also returns that if it's if it's inside if it's outside the boundaries of the world. Otherwise, it returns the list that we created. And then I have the generate ships function, which just generates a ship for every ship that you want to generate. And as long as they're an enemy, of course, because the player doesn't. That would mean that the player wouldn't choose where his ships are, which is bad. So only the enemy is randomly generating their ships. So for every ship, you you set an origin, which is a random uh, range of the board. Excuse me. And the ship, and this creates a new ship with the origin and an empty set of tiles. Um, it sets the ship type, which is inputted here, and the health. But the ship type should be the levels thing here. Uh, I have this list here, and the first integer in each of these lists should represent a type, and then the second should represent the rotation. So some of it might have been lost in the version control stuff. Oh, there it is, right here. Oh, why am I doing this at the start? Okay, that's silly. I started having to ask help from ChatGPT, and it just gave me this. I don't know why it decided to append the ship before doing all the checks. That's just silly. Oh gosh, what is it doing now? Just a random underscore? Yikes, I don't know what it's doing here. Anyway, um, what is this? It just spewed a bunch of crap, but I swear it worked like a while ago. I had like 4 ships running. Let's just test it, see what it looks like. It might not even draw a ship because it has that error. Okay, great. So these 4 tiles are actually ship tiles. You can see at number 12 is in fact a tile, and it's 8 by 8. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all of these are ship tiles. But the other 2 ships that we're supposed to generate didn't generate. I was supposed to generate 3 of them. They didn't work. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. It's 8 by 8 instead of 5 by 5 now, because I could basically change any number. Yo, what's up? How you doing? W, me nerding out on a on a on a on Visual Studio Code is W. Let's go. Thanks, man. Anyway, so that's what that looks like. It generated a little ship here. These 4 tiles. That's an that's a carrier for sure. Trust. Yeah, I can code. Um, surprising. Uh, trust me, I'm also way too dumb to code. It just takes practice, not intelligence. Very, it's really just like learning a language. At like that's all it is. You just it's like Spanish. If you don't know Spanish, and then once you know Spanish, it's just like Spanish. That's it. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my words, that's how difficult code is. It's just learning a new language. That's all it is, and then telling something to do something with that language. Um, I don't know what ChatGPT recommended me here, but I'm gonna be returning this back to the way it was with my source control. Um, and then I have the make fog function, which I didn't change. It's just the same way it was before. And then it prints everything. And yeah, that's this file. But what I'm most excited to show is maingame.py. I fixed a lot of UI stuff. Last time I was still stuck with having like one side of the board being like 1 pixel of blue, and then the middle of it was like 1 pixel of gray, and then the other side of the board was 1 pixel of blue again. I figured out that the weights were irrelevant, and it was all about the height and width that mattered. So now it has the proper dimensions. Go figure, when you set dimensions, it works. Godoy. Idiot. Start just it just for every column in player water.columns, you create a new you configure a new column and you set its weight. In this case, there's only how many? Okay, there are 5 tiles. I want to do 8 by 8. I just want to do 8 by 8. So water stores the columns and rows, right? So p water stores columns, and then this means that both of these will create 8 columns. Attack buttons, I think, is a thing I didn't create yet, which is fine. Oh, okay. Attack buttons is int 4. And okay, yeah, center frame.column. Okay, so it configures them in the center frame. Okay, gotcha. And then it packs the full game screen, and now it creates the tiles, which basically for every tile in the player's board, the text is hashtag if the tile is fog. Otherwise, it's just a string of tile, and then it just sets the background to be something gray if it's also in the fog. Otherwise, it's just blue like water, and the column index is that now. Row index is that, and yeah. It sets a new button, and it sets all these. It just sets them for the button. It adds a command, which is a basically this gives this button like it just gives it the role of an event listener. When it gets clicked on, it just runs this command with like the tile is the current tile in the player's board, so it will always basically when you press on this instance of button, it will send this like what this was when it was created as the function parameter, and it'll also input the actual list of logs. And I also wanted to set the borders and the border width because I thought it would look nicer. And then it grids the row to the row index and column index, which is this logic here that took me a while. And here I actually kind of wanna. E-water is an enemy, which means he'll generate his own ships. Water stores. Okay, first one is columns, second one is rows, fog spots, board, fog, manipulate, activate, enemy. Okay. What does water really store? Level and ships. Okay. That is a problemo. Level is going to be literally nothing. It doesn't need to have anything. And then ships is also nothing. Doesn't matter. Is that right? Or does ships come first when creating water? Oh, it looks like ships first. Or where's the init function in? Okay, it's right here. Oh, okay. There is no. Okay, it creates itself when it. Okay, okay. Each water class will affect itself when it's created. Interesting. I forgot that. Okay. Which means water. Okay, I want to actually do a quick change here. Where do I have fog? Print foggy board. Okay. Text equals this. Oh, okay. This might be a little tricky to figure out. How do I set this to that? Background equals dark gray. tile in eWater.fog. Okay, so background equals dark gray if the tile is water, is fog. Other else else black. Let's do black. If check all ships tiles. Where is that called? It's in foggy board. Check all ships calls ships, and ships is stored in sub.ships. Okay. Ships equals eWater dot ships. Okay. If eWater dot check all ship tiles. Wait, does that work? Check all ship tiles is not in the class water, is it? Now it is. Oh wait, now we have them. Can we do that then? I don't know. Yikes. Okay. Oops. Shift tab. Okay, how do I do this then? I'm just gonna copy paste it. Here you go. We just posted that in there. Chat. Okay. Then it takes ships. Else, and then else you set it as blue. No, light blue. Tile in this should be correct. Where is the other error? Where's the error? Where's the error message? It should be here then. Okay, it says it's there. Well, oh, if. Okay. If what? Wait. Else that for tile. Okay, what did I do here? Where is the foggy board? There it is. In a square bracket. Okay. Background equals that. Hello. What now? Are you gonna work for me now? I hope so. Okay, no error? That's good. We like that. We like not having errors. Okay. I just want to see what this looks like now. Hopefully I didn't break this. Shit. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. No way. Oh, because that's a list. Okay, I can't just print a list. That's not good. If tile else black if okay. Okay. Okay, maybe I just have to stop doing this all in one line. If index, okay. If you are not fog, background equals dark gray. elif background equals, and then last but not least, else background light. Yeah, because for every tile. Okay, so yeah, that would have just made a huge list otherwise. Because it's already in a for loop for every tile in the board. There you go. Oh gosh, wait. Uh, ships. Okay, no, that's right. Maybe I just set it here. Okay. Oh, why would I have that then? Wait, where's ships? Ships. That's fine. Okay, wait. Four tile you are up board. Okay, we have that there. Do I need it? It looks like it. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Finally. Hey, okay. I forgot I have a dual screen monitor, so why is that tiny now? That's not good. It generated the ship though on the enemy side, so it's 8 by 8. But I guess I broke it because I made it too big. I just had to screw it up with this, didn't I? Okay, restart. We have to have our middle too. Come on. I have all day. Oh yeah, I have to kill the screen now. It's not like the terminal anymore. Load it. Come on. Yippee! Okay, so this is the center that I wanted. And then these light blue tiles, they're all just water. And these black tiles, they're ships. But so far they're only facing like leftward. In this case, there's only one ship tile that's actually showing itself to us because the rest of it is hidden under the fog. And normally you'd think like, okay, but battleships is like, all the tiles are hidden from you because it's the enemy. But they will be. This one will be hidden, trust me. But the fog is only here so that if you shoot something in the fog, you don't know if you hit a ship or if you just hit nothing. You don't know. That's what the fog does. That's the game mechanic of fog in my spin-off to battleships. And I was thinking of like making ships move around, which would make it so complicated to just keep track of ships. You'd have like these attacks in the center, and there'd be like splash attacks. You'd have like these boats that would support you and wouldn't actually attack them, and you have like one attack per turn. But like these boats would give nearby ships two attacks if you decide to attack using those ships that was near the support one. Ah, so many things I thought of. You could have an oil rig like that's like positioned at like 17 and 18, and if he shoots down your oil rig, 12, 13, like 19, 23, 22, 16, 17, and 18 will all have oil on them. And if you shoot oil, or if one of his boats go into the oil, it lights on fire and deals damage like to anything in those tiles. Like all the ship tiles in those tiles get one damage per turn. It's like crazy. I have so many ideas about this. You could have so many different kinds of ships and so many different things. It's like you could expand on this forever. And it makes me really excited. So that's that's why I'm like really excited about making this game. I'm just gonna explain the rest of my code so far. Um, yeah, main game, and then I have after the uh, after the tiles are created, after buttons are created, you just call start, and that's it. It's all super simple. and I have a function that just when the player side is pressed, it returns a button. So let me just show off that I can actually detect which buttons are pressed. For example, number 1, I'm clicking it 3 times. Let's just see. Yeah, clicked 1 on the player side. It identifies which side you press it on, and it's a fog tile. And yes, indeed, it was a fog tile. And if I do, like, let's say 19, it's also a normal tile, and it identifies which tile it is. And oh, okay, I didn't check. I didn't do checks uh for ships yet. I just added ships to this. There were no black spots before. Uh, I'll do the check for the ships later. But in the meantime, if it's not in fog, it would just be normal, but it isn't normal. It's a ship tile. I'll have to do that later. It does identify that it's the enemy's side though, and if it's not fog. That's for sure. Um, but number 3 is on the enemy side. It's yeah, it's a fog tile. Yep, that's correct. 25. That is also a normal tile, and that's what I got working. I'm really proud of it. That was like a good total 4 hours work. If I had like this little editor that you could just put a ship there, and it would keep track of which tiles have which ships. It would make this the OG battleship like easily, but I'm thinking of making it more complicated right off the bat, which is stupid, I know, but it is what it is. You gotta start somewhere. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm really proud with what I accomplished in the span of like 4 hours basically. Um, and I just wanted to show off what I did in this stream. Uh, so yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Glitch out.